Learners at risk are the ones that have been progressed to the next grade because of some special provision in the circular, the National Assessment Circular, or they may have been progressed because of age cohort, or they have already repeated in the previous grade. And then that is what makes them to be learners at risk. And over and above that, we can also refer to learners that are repeating the current grade as learners at risk. So therefore, all these learners, they deserve to be supported. For the mere fact that they have repeated or they have been progressed doesn't mean that they have to be left by themselves and not being assisted to make sure that they at least improve their performance to be at the level of the other learners. So therefore, it is very crucial that they are being supported. So we made mention of the fact that there will be a need for the teacher to develop an individualized kind of support plan, which is informed by the subject improvement plan, which was developed after having a formal task that has been administered, and the analysis have shown that some of the learners maybe have not done well. Okay, so the individualized support plans should not deviate from the analysis of the baseline assessment or the subject improvement plan that may have been developed. So the two should be linked so that whatever interventions that are put in place, they are found to be addressing the needs or the areas that learners are struggling in. Okay, so right now in front of us we have a proposed template of the individualized support plan. So let's have a look at it. So this is something that a teacher can develop and use in terms of that what will be filed in the learner's portfolio file in representing different subjects. Okay, so this particular template should be used for different subjects, not only for one subject, but the portfolio for that particular learner at risk is going to be containing all the needed documents, and there should be an index in the portfolio file that speaks to the content of the portfolio. Okay, let's now have a look at the template which is in front of us. Okay, right, as you can see, you will have the name of the learner there, and the grade will be represented, and then it's followed by the date of birth and the educator. As I have made reference to the fact that this is expected to be developed per subject, so here is going to be the name of the subject teacher. Right, the first column speaks to area or areas in which support is needed based on the analysis of the baseline assessment or the analysis of the task that has been administered. Okay, the area of a need will be indicated here. Okay, like for instance in this example, a learner struggles with spelling. Okay, then thereafter the next column is going to be causes of difficulties. What do you think are the contributing factors to that particular challenge that the learner is struggling with or struggling in? Okay, then from there the target to be achieved. Okay, in terms of after having put the interventions, okay, what is it that is the intention in terms of what is expected to be achieved? All right, then followed by the strategy of the intervention. Here you're going to detail the strategy that is going to be employed in terms of making sure that learners at risk are being assisted in terms of this particular template of the individual support plan. All right, then the next one is going to be the responsible person. All right, of course here, because we said it's going to be aligned to the subject, so which means the expectation is that we expect the subject teacher to be the one completing this particular individualized support plan template. All right, then the time frame, it shouldn't just be left open, it must be confined to a specific time that whatever is being put in place is expected at least to be evaluated or to last for this particular period of time. Right, then the next column is the one that speaks to the review date. All right, it's not just gonna be just left open. There should be a date on which it is being reviewed to check if there is any need for a refinement of the strategy that is being employed to assist those learners. Okay, right. Then the last column is the one that speaks to the comment on the progress made. All right, based on what the findings will be. All right, so this is an example of an individualized support plan that can be developed for a learner or learners at risk, and then it's going to be filed in the portfolio file. All right, except for that, remember, we have indicated that it will be important for this particular plan to be discussed with the parents so that they also are in the know of what is happening at school in terms of assisting their child, so that they can also make sure that when the child is at home, they support the child in terms of ensuring that what has to be done at home, it's being done. Right, let's look at the other supporting documents that we are having here. We made reference to the fact that parents should be made aware. Okay, so this is an example of a record of consultation with parents. Okay, because activities like this shouldn't just happen without you having a paper trail written in black and white in terms of what are the activities that have taken place, because sometimes you might be expected to give evidence that indeed there has been consultation with the parents to inform them about the academic progress that is being made by the child. Okay, so you're going to have this kind of a template that you can use, wherein you're going to record maybe the date on which the meeting was conducted, the name and the surname of the parent, okay, the name of the learner, date of birth, the educator who was present, okay, what were the identified challenges. You're going to indicate here to say that this is what was discussed on the day. So this is important in terms of making sure that you have evidence of having consulted with the parents, so that if ever in future it is needed that you prove that indeed parents were consulted and to be informed about the academic progress of the learner, you can be able to produce that. All right, over and above that, we also have the other one. Remember, we also made reference to the fact that the screening of the learners at risk will also be need to be applied. So this is a proposed template that can be used in terms of screening of the learners at risk. You have the emblem there on top of the school, right? Any identification and screening. Then you have the information about the school and also the learner. Then you have here the possible barriers to learning and development. You're going to tick on the appropriate box based on when you have assessed the learner or screened the learner. You'll be having an indication of any challenges that particular learner might be having. So that is going to be dependent on your findings as and when you screen. So basically, these are some of the tools that you can find yourself completing to support the fact that you have indeed done something to ensure that that particular learner who is referred to be a learner at risk or learners at risk, you haven't just left them by themselves, but in fact you have tried to do something in terms of assisting them, because remember, you might be expected to prove or to give evidence of the fact that indeed parents were consulted, or indeed you have put an intervention plan which was intended to assist the learner, but maybe the learner didn't improve or the learner has improved depending on the outcome of the intervention. Remember, we also make reference to the fact that it's something that needs to be refined or revisited or reviewed. Okay, there should be this constant review of the situation to check on the progress, so that if there are other stuff that needs to be corrected, you can correct it. So this is where we're going to take our video to today. Thank you very much for having given us time. Please don't forget to subscribe, and then you also like or comment on the video. When you subscribe, you are going to be standing a better chance of getting some notifications whenever we release a new video. Thank you very much for your time.